Aftermath by Peter Robinson. Read by Simon Slater. Prologue. They locked her in the cage when she started to bleed. Tom was already there. He had been there for 3 days and had stopped crying now. He was still shivering, though. It was February. There was no heat in the cellar, and both of them were naked. There would be no food either, she knew, not for a long time. Not until she got so hungry that she felt as if she were being eaten from the inside. It wasn't the first time she had been locked in the cage, but this time was different from the others. Before, it had always been because she'd done something wrong or hadn't done what they wanted her to do. This time it was different. It was because of what she had become. And she was really scared. As soon as they had shut the door at the top of the stairs, the darkness wrapped itself around her like fur. She could feel it rubbing against her skin, the way a cat rubs against your legs. She began to shiver. More than anything, she hated the cage. More than the blows. More than the humiliations. But she wouldn't cry. She never cried. She didn't know how. The smell was terrible. They didn't have a toilet to go to, only the bucket in the corner, which they would only be allowed to empty when they were let out. And who knew when that would be? But worse even than the smell were the little scratching sounds that started when she had been locked up only a few minutes. Soon she knew it would come, the tickle of sharp little feet across her legs or her stomach, if she dare lie down. The first time, she had tried to keep moving and making noise all the time to keep them away. But in the end she had become exhausted and fallen asleep, not caring how many there were or what they did. She could tell in the dark, by the way they moved and their weight, whether they were rats or mice. The rats were the worst. One had even bitten her once. She held Tom and tried to comfort him, making them both a little warmer. If truth be told, she could have done with some comforting herself, but there was nobody to comfort her. Mice scuttled across her feet. Occasionally she kicked out and heard one squeak as it hit the wall. She could hear music from upstairs, loud, with the bass making the bars of the cage rattle. She closed her eyes and tried to find a beautiful retreat deep inside her mind, a place where everything was warm and golden, and the sea that washed up on the sands was deep blue, the water warm, and lovely as sunlight when she jumped in. But she couldn't find it. Couldn't find that sandy beach and blue sea, that garden full of bright flowers, or that cool green forest in summer. When she closed her eyes, all she could find was darkness shot with red, distant mutterings, cries, and an appalling sense of dread. She drifted in and out of sleep, becoming oblivious to the mice and rats. She didn't know how long she'd been there before she heard noises upstairs. Different noises. The music had ended a long time ago, and everything was silent apart from the scratching and Tom's breathing. She thought she heard a car pull up outside. Voices. Another car. Then she heard someone walking across the floor upstairs. A curse. Suddenly all hell broke loose upstairs. It sounded as if someone was battering at the door with a tree trunk. Then came a crunching sound, followed by a loud bang as the front door caved in. Tom was awake now, whimpering in her arms. She heard shouting, and what sounded like dozens of pairs of feet running around upstairs. After what seemed like an eternity, she heard someone prise open the lock to the cellar door. A little light spilled in, but not much, and there wasn't a bulb down there. More voices. Then came the lances of bright torchlight, coming closer, so close they hurt her eyes, and she had to shield them with her hand. Then the beam held her, and a strange voice cried, "Oh God! Oh my God!" Chapter 1.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?